Carl was saying that he wants to turn it off and let the algorithm does its adjustment and all that, and then eventually next week, turn it back on, and hopefully it will be adjusted and it's going to be okay. Now, whether you turn off now, next week, it's going to go through the whole, you do not know. Here's the thing. We do not, in my opinion, algorithm is such a big thing. And when you kind of like put everything on the algorithm's shoulder, I don't think it's fair. In my opinion, the best way to really run ads is to let it run. If the CPM is not good and you're not comfortable seeing it, you may turn it off. And I'm not saying that it's wrong thing to do, to turn it off and turn it back on, but you are doing all this guesswork right here. There is nothing confirmed. You get what I mean? I hope it makes sense. So nobody says 1 week later when you turn it back on, it's going to be good. But here's the thing. Whenever you start a new campaign or launch a new ad or a new ad set, whatever, the first few days as it's learning, there is always some volatility in it. As in, like, sometimes it's good for a day or for a couple of hours, and it get worse at night and stuff like that, which is totally normal. That's the reason why the campaign requires a learning period, and that's the reason why we don't make decision based on a day or two data, if that makes sense. Because especially for the first few days, like the other day, I just launched a campaign. Can you imagine my first day? My first 12 hours, the CPM was about like 2,000 ringgit, which is what? About $500? $400. $400 CPM. It's totally bad. And it's a retargeting, which is nonsense. I was targeting a bunch of people that I already know and know that it's a broad retargeting, and it's 400. So there are many reasons for such thing to happen. Eventually, it's either you totally feel not comfortable and you just turn it off and restart, which is a sound decision to make, or you endure it. To me, I've seen another client like the other day. I saw someone. We got double CPM. Used to have about like $45 CPM for US market. But when we launched it, it was about like 85, close to 90, close to 2x CPM. However, on the other side, all the numbers are doing brilliant. And we got one sale or two within the first, 12 hours. So on the other hand, although the CPM is higher, it's working because it got us the right people coming in. So eventually, what we did was like we kept it, going, understanding that, look, the CPM is really high right now, but we're seeing results right now. So I think it's okay to endure it and for another while. And truth to be true, 48 hours later, we got back like about 50 CPM. You have to always understand high CPM, low CPM, high CPM, low CPM. When you average out in a week, you got decent CPM. That's the reason why we don't make decision based on a day or two data. But of course, if you have some early success or early failure that you are totally determined that this is not right, I don't want to pursue this, by all means, make the decision. Otherwise, it's totally normal. That's what I want to highlight. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, right? But nonetheless, what I really want to recommend here is really run ads and optimize and really look at the numbers and make the right decision. Don't be too carried away by one single metric. That's what I always want to highlight, because you want to really make decision based on really a combination of metrics and to be really objective about knowing what's working, what's not working, what's coming in and what's going out. And yeah, build a plan, build hypothesis. Like when you're saying that the CPM is high, like your hypothesis is actually based on a lot of guesswork. You're saying that when I turn this off, next week it's going to come back. Rather, you can actually try to introduce another ads and like what you're doing right now and let it run. And after a while, you really see it's not working, then you just turn it off. I don't know. I'm not sure whether it makes sense to you, but it's really about the decision-making process and all that. I don't want to put a lot of guesswork into building the hypothesis. To me, putting it on algorithm, it's an unknown to me. When it's unknown, I prefer not to back on it. That's just me. Anyway, thanks for bringing this up. I like the discussion. But yeah, just in case, if any one of you having this discussion, like wondering whether what you should do with your campaign when the CPM is high and everything, well, you can run ads. At least give me a 7-day data, then book this one-on-one Facebook ads audit by me. So what I'm going to do is we're going to dive into the numbers. If you're not familiar with the number, I mean, sometimes when you might learn about like, oh, CPM is key, it's important, but I also want to help you understand about the, like all the other metrics and how do we connect all these metrics, to really make sense, to help you make decision on your campaign. So in this 30 minutes or so kind of audit, that depending on what, package you go for, what we're going to do is, firstly, I'm going to build a dashboard for you. As in, like, based on your needs, based on your campaign type and all that, what are the metrics that we need to look into? I'll build it for you, and I will analyze with you and teach you how to do that. So basically, from there, we'll be able to draw multiple hypotheses over here and say that, oh, let's do 1, 2, 3, in sequence. So you can either choose to do it yourself, or you can actually get me to involve and stuff like that, but it's up to you. But here's what you get within a 30-minute discussion. You get a dashboard. You can learn how to analyze the dashboard, and you get a plan. That's the whole idea.